Hey, what it do, baby boo? I know it's been a long time. Why is my voice sounding like a frog? I know it's been a long time. I know I haven't posted in a while. I've just been lazy, if we're being completely honest with you. I've been lazy as fuck. First video that I'm gonna publish is this one, which is 7 quick tips to help you climb solo queue ladder or some shit. Some fancy little marketing headline. Before we get into the video, I want you to know that you've probably heard these tips before. I'm being completely honest, okay? You've probably heard these tips before somewhere. But I'm gonna say them again because repetition is good and because if you've been hearing them a billion times, then maybe you should stop glancing over them, and maybe you should maybe put more weight into them. If they're so common, if they're so commonly repeated, don't just glance over them and actually take some time to step back and analyze them. The first tip is to focus during your game. In regards to focusing, the things that will help you, focus more is, first off, turn off every single application on your computer other than League of Legends. Unless you're like using, like you're listening to music and it helps you focus or something. That in that case it's completely different. You need to stop alt tabbing and going, keeping your mental RAM between like Facebook and blah 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 and all this other shit, YouTube and all that stuff. Keep it all focused on the League of Legends client. So yeah, turn everything off. Another thing that will help you focus is if you go into the game with a concept. I've talked about this before, with a fundamental of the game that you're working on. For example, if you're ADC, go into the game with a conscious effort to work on CSing or something, or with a conscious effort to work on positioning in team fights. Or if you're mid, go into the game with a conscious effort looking to improve your roaming ability or some shit like that. Okay, make sure you have a core fundamental that you're trying to improve on and you're trying to bring that skill up. What's some other stuff that will help you focus? Make sure, okay, that you don't need to take a piss or shit. This is funny. I know that sounds like the most weirdest advice. But I guarantee you, there's some people watching this, because I've done it before, where you need to go toilet, and then it's just sitting there and it's stopping you. Like you can't focus because you need to take a shit. Likewise, okay, for you dudes, don't be on freaking Pornhub, okay, trying to rub one out before the game starts. Don't do that. You know why? Because I've done it before. I know I've done it before. And then you're in like pre-champs, so like you're trying to bust a nut in like 2 minutes. You get into the game, and then when you're in the game, like you're sitting at the rift and you're getting ready to start, it's like 1 minute 15 seconds or some shit. And then you're not in the mood to be like, yeah, let's do this. You're in this like kind of, you're just like, wow. Madison Ivy on fleek. So that's tip number 1. Second tip is hit the mute button. Every time you just hear someone raging, just hit the mute button as fast as you can, okay? As soon as you get that little bit of negativity, or can we FF, or some fucking retard on your team just complaining, hit the mute button. Don't try and, I think the word is mitigate the situation. Don't try and calm everyone down and be like, come on guys, blah blah blah. Yeah, I don't advise you do that. I advise you just focus on playing the game rather than keeping your hands on the chatting to people and shit. Third tip is to main 2 roles maximum. Please honestly do yourself a favor and pick 2 roles as fast as you can, okay? Because it's important to know, like, to kind of muck around with each role and then get a Baskin and Robbins, like, taste every flavor to find out which ones you like type shit. It's good to do that. At some point you just have to cut off every other flavor and stick with 2 kind of thing, okay? You can't be a dabbler. You can't dabble in every role. You have to be a quote-unquote master at 1 or 2 roles in particular, preferably 2. If you want some role positions, okay, I found that the higher elo that you get, the more you can choose ADC and support, because ADC and support are heavily reliant on your team. Especially ADC in lane, obviously you're relying on the support to help you make plays and ward up and all that shit. And support is good because your team is hopefully good enough at high elo to carry the game, and they know what to do to close the game out and stuff like that. But I don't really recommend ADC and support for low elo. Does that mean that you can't climb with it? I'm not saying that at all. It's just, in my experience, I've found that ADC and support don't work as well with me, maybe, compared to these next 2 roles, which I highly recommend, which is middle and jungle. Jungle I think is honestly the most influential role in the game. You get to decide the flow of the game. You can make it a 4v5 if you're good enough to shut down the enemy jungle with warding and pinging your team and shit, with counter jungling, all that stuff. Mid is good because you're in the middle of the map, so you have access to both lanes, boom boom, so you can roam there whenever it's possible. Plus you're one of the damage dealers, which is really good. Top lane, if you're watching this, if you're one of my quote-unquote loyal subscribers, I freaking hate top lane so much. I'm not even going to comment on it. That's how much I hate it. Main 3 champs maximum per role. I'm not going to give you a champ. Okay, I'll give you some. Maybe for jungle, I think at the moment Lee Sin is really strong. Kha'Zix is really strong. I think Rengar is really strong. The assassin meta. Mid lane, who's really strong? Is Victor strong at the moment? I think he's still strong. If you're looking for easy champs, Annie is easy as twat. She's so freaking easy. You can easily get to diamond with Annie if you know how to use her properly. ADC, I think Ezreal's really good if you have the mechanics to support his kit. Ashe is really good. Lucian and Caitlyn are really good. Support, my personal preference is Nami and Nautilus. Nautilus is honestly, he used to be like top tier pick support, I think. And then people just stop playing him. Bro, my win rate on him in Challenger is like almost 70%. I think it's like 68% or some shit. He's retarded good. And Nami is just poke city. Like, she just presses her W and does tons of damage in lane and all that stuff. And her E is really good for your ADC. Top lane, like I said, I'm not going to comment on top lane. I fucking hate it. The 5th tip, okay, is to play solo queue. For some reason, every one of my friends, okay, every one of my bros, every one of the people that I know that have climbed have done it with solo queue. I'm not saying that you can't climb with duo queue. I'm not saying that at all. Please don't misinterpret what I'm saying. All I'm saying is that in my experience, both with my climbing and my friends climbing, they all did it by themselves. They didn't have someone to duo with. I don't know the science or the logistics behind it. Maybe it's because you focus more when you're playing by yourself, or you don't have someone to rage at on the mic or something. Something like that. I don't know like the science behind it. But I've just found that most people climb better when they play specifically solo queue. They don't play with anyone else. These last 2 tips are easily the most important tips that you should 100% take into account. It's not actionable, okay? It's not something that you can implement straight away. Or it kind of is, but it's not something that you do, like do this, you know? But it's the 6th tip is tell your ego to get fucked. I guarantee you, please take this from my experience, okay? I'm not saying this to be a dick, but I'm Challenger, and Challenger's like the top 0.0 something percent. Like, I would consider myself a good player in the grand spectrum of things. In the grand spectrum of things. I'm sounding so intelligent. Please take my advice. Honestly, tell your ego to get fucked. Your ego doesn't want you to climb, I promise that. Your ego wants you to stay in the same exact place that you're in now. Your ego is the thing or the image that when a mistake happens and you made the mistake, your ego tells you, nah, it's not your fault, it's their fault. And that type of thinking honestly is it unconstructive or deconstructive? I don't know which one. It's interfering with your ability to climb. I promise you. And I know it's hard to accept, and I know it's cliche, and I know it's like this a cheesiest fucking quote that you can put on Facebook. I know. But that's just what I found to be true, is that the people who tell their ego to get fucked as soon as possible, they're the ones who climbed. I promise you. There was a point in my journey, okay? I don't know if those of you who know like my journey or whatever, my climbing journey, but I played League of Legends for a good 3 months before I properly started taking it seriously. For that 3 months, I played with my friends, no homo. I didn't pick any, I didn't main any champ, I played whatever. I played ranked, but I always raged at my team. And then there was at one point in the journey when I wanted to take it seriously, and then I think I was bronze or silver, like silver 5 or something. Then when I wanted to take it seriously, I made a new account. I got it to level 30, and within 3 weeks of doing my rank placements on that account, I got to diamond. Within 3 weeks. What did I do to get from unranked to diamond in 3 weeks? Okay, after being shit for like 3 months, I focused. I mained Kha'Zix and Ahri, Kha'Zix jungle, Ahri mid, and I started accepting responsibility. Those 3 things are the things that I did to climb to diamond in 3 weeks when I first started playing. Which leads me to my last tip, and that's accepting responsibility for your actions. It's kind of in relation to the ego. I can't tell you, words cannot explain how valuable that tip is. I promise you. It's not valuable just in League of Legends. It's fucking crazy, honestly. That tip of starting accepting responsibility got me to Challenger. Okay, that's enough. That should be enough of a reason for you to start accepting responsibility. So to give you some actionable shit to help you accept responsibility. The next time a mistake happens or something happens and the result wasn't as desirable as you'd like it to be, aka you lost the game, take a deep breath. Honestly, and it sounds cheesy as dick, I know. Breathe, and then just remember why you're playing the game in the first place. Remember your goal, which is to win and which is to climb. Okay, so breathe and keep that in mind, and then it's going to make the action of accepting responsibility, it's going to make it a lot easier, way easier. Also remember that if you don't accept responsibility and tell your ego to get fucked, you're fucked. You're not going to climb. I'm just going to say it. There you go. So that should be enough of a reason for you to start, being a bit more mature about this game. I hope you guys have been well. I hope you guys have been Gucci. I'm going to get back into answering my comments. I'm sorry I've been so lazy. Have a good day. I love you. Stay beautiful. Shana Docs.